Music to the Max. It is Ben Maxwell in studio, and we're going to give them time to tune up. Are the Bollands, a New Zealand-based folk band, and they are going to be performing at the Zindari Festa this weekend in Hongdae. We're going to get to more details with them. I want to give you a chance to actually hear their sound. So let me tell you just a quick little thing about them. In their bio, which I think Chris actually you said you wrote, they've been singing. You guys have been singing their infectious foot-stomping folk rock since 2009, and this is the best part of the bio. With their love of travel, music, good friends, and fine wine, the Bollands have gained a reputation for their passion-filled live shows. This is the song Inside by the Bollands on TBS eFM. TBS eFM, Music to the Max. It is Ben Maxwell, the Bollands, with the song Inside. And let's welcome them to the studio. Hello, guys.
Hey, nice to be here.
It's great to see you. So we have Joyce and Christian from the Bollands. As I mentioned before, you're going to be performing at the Zindari Festa this weekend in Hongdae with a bunch of Korean indie acts as well as international artists. And you guys are great. I listened to your stuff online. I caught some of your stuff. I want to inform our listeners a little bit about your bio. I'll go in a little more detail. Always on the road, New Zealand folk band The Bollands have been singing their infectious foot-stomping folk songs since 2009. With their love of travel, good music, good friends, and fine wine, the Bollands have gained a reputation for their passion-filled live shows. So,
I'm not sure about the fine wine part.
well that's not
any wine will do.
That was my
Any alcohol, actually. It could be cheap beer.
So any kind of house wine would be fine.
Yeah.
Well, you know, coming from New Zealand like you guys do, I mean, I'm sure that the table wine in New Zealand is pretty unbelievable anyway, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Actually, when we're in New Zealand during summer, we do summer tours around and we play at vineyards and stuff, which is awesome.
That's really cool. I have a lot of good friends who are Kiwis, and I got a lot of love for you guys. I don't know if you saw the video of the All Blacks training. There's like a workout regimen now to get like the All Blacks.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's really it's super crazy. They're insane.
Right.
So let me ask you a question. It's infectious foot-stomping folk music. First, before we get to the genre specific, how did you guys get together? And we're missing Paul, who also is part of your group, the band. So Christian and Joyce, how did you get together?
In New Zealand, we were camping during Easter, and it wasn't actually through music, which is kind of nice actually. I didn't know Joyce played music. We were camping, and I saw Joyce, and I thought she looked all right. So I said, how's
You
it
were
going?
intrigued.
Would you like some fine wine? And,
I would have actually been a lot more impressed if you did say that.
yeah.
It's amazing what you can go back in your head with, and you can revisit those moments, you know? So how did you just fancied each other, I would assume. So how did the music thing come up then?
Well, I'd grown up in sort of a folk family where my family was always playing folk music, and we went to a lot of folk festivals and stuff, and I actually grew up in a house truck. So there's always a lot of music going on and dirty hippies everywhere and stuff. And then, so I've always played guitar and sung, and then Joyce was sort of classically trained, and we happened to end up in Taiwan in a rock band, and then Joyce joined playing keyboard, and then after that we just kind of kept it going.
So when you say you were growing up with folk music around you, is it Christian or Chris?
Either one.
Okay. When you say you grew up with folk music around you, give me a little idea of like what bands you were listening to. Are they international or are they more local to
it was pretty local. It was sort of really kind of traditional folk, like Luke Kelly and the Dubliners sort of stuff, quite Irish and English kind of folk that was going on. Actually, not that Americana. We've really started getting into a lot of Americana music, but the stuff back in New Zealand was way more English and Irish sort of folk music.
That's interesting.
So the folk festivals where people would just go camping, and then someone just sings a standard, and then all these instruments kind of join in and things like that.
And there's a Māori singing culture.
Yeah,
there's
a lot of Māori music as well.
Okay.
And stuff. Yeah.
I'm not too familiar with that, but Joyce, Chris said that you were classically trained.
Yeah, I think that's a nice word. I actually grew up in a lot of Asian families where you have to practice, you have to go through grades and things like that. So I went through the Royal Academy of Piano. I can't remember what the
You can remember
course
it.
was.
You're being very,
no, I
very
really can't.
Now, real quick, originally your family's from Malaysia.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So you guys went to New Zealand, and so tell me more about the classically trained. Was it just piano based?
It was just piano, and so I had to go through the really strict strict practice regimen.
Right.
Actually, she was also a dancer, and she danced for some New Zealand competition and stuff.
Yeah.
Really? Was it televised, or was it just like it was like a TV show thing, reality show?
What was it? I did a lot of competition. So
Did you?
yeah, so I actually won. I got into the sort of the top 20 young performers
Oh,
in
that's
New
great.
Zealand. So I love dance. I love dancing a lot more than I did playing piano back then.
That's where the foot stomping folk music comes into.
Yeah.
So if you were classically trained, Joyce, how did you? Was it through Chris you got an affinity for the folk, or did that come naturally from your family and from these festivals or from these campfires?
No, it's definitely from Christian.
Oh, that's
yeah, my parents listen to like pop.
Really?
Yeah, is it canto pop?
Andy Lau there and too.
No, that's pretty cool. So I know you said it's foot stomping folk, but is there another level to it that you're trying to reach? Usually folk, we had a discussion yesterday on the show about folk music and what defines folk music, and we have people have different ideas of what it is. Would you say, first of all, it is music instrument based or lyric based?
I think it's more lyric based. I think the idea of folk music, well, how I grew up with it was more that it's about songs that folk can sing together, and so it's about
in terms of like folk as in people.
as in
Yeah.
people. Yeah, so I think foot stomping just means it's upbeat folk
All right.
music. Well, I mean, of course we do some slow ones, but I like the idea of songs with just songs that everyone can join in and everyone can sing about these, and especially the folk tradition of stories of tough times,
Right.
And people kind of getting through it together.
Well,
But
let's-
also the melody. It's extremely important for us when we write songs as well.
Swinging melodies, and people can.
I want to get to the melodies. I want to get more about your process if I can, because it's always fascinating. But I know that we have a couple of songs that I'd love for you guys to do. The first one I understand is going to be, is it a drunk or a drunk?
A drunk.
A drunk, because it could be
Yeah.
like, I don't know if whatever that word part of speech is. So is that cool for you guys?
Yeah,
All right,
let's do
cool.
that.
Let's listen to the Bollands with A Drunk on TBS eFM.
Cool.